We are learning to bully back how Europe got Trump to cave on Greenland. Before I continue with this lesson, I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory. Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh, Bahashem, Kakwadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. I'm the brother lawyer, and I teach the Great Millstone Nash. We'll come back with a quick lesson. And this lesson will be entitled, The Bully is Being Bullied. The bully is being bullied. Going into America, Trump had backed down from, basically invading the country, but he's still spying on Denmark and Greenland. And there was another article that I had, I don't know what I did with it, but it has stated that Denmark had wanted, you know what, let me see if I can pull it up. Give me 1 second. Yeah, so this was the other article that came out, and it says Denmark orders public officials to turn off their Bluetooth due to high risk of being spied on by the U.S. And this is their allies. They're spying on their allies. That's what they fear, because they know that the U.S. ain't nothing but snakes. They'll say, "Oh, it's peace," but it ain't no peace. Oh, let me see. That's Psalm. Give me 1 second. What was in his heart? Psalm. Oh shit, I forgot. I ain't got no. I don't have no internet. I don't have no power. Give me 1 second. All right, so I'm gonna just continue where I was. Currently, don't have no power due to the storm and stuff like that, but it's all right. So, the scripture I was looking for, which was Psalms. Give me 1 second. 1 second. I think it's Psalm 55 and 21. 1 second. It's a lot here. Yeah, so Psalm 55, 121 says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet with a drawn sword. So him basically, matter of fact, this is the wrong article. Yeah, so going back to this, what the fuck? Now all of a sudden, all right. So yeah, going back to this article, because Trump is now using he's showing his full colors, but back then, they will speak sweet words, but then the opposite will happen, just like what he did before the election, saying that he wasn't gonna disregard certain bills. He's not going to take this bill back that supports the people with certain benefits. But he did that. He said he wasn't going to go to war. He did that. All these different things he's done. But then the opposite happened, And so as of right now, let's read this article. It says the meeting, by the time it convened, seemed pointless. Some joked that it could have been an email. When European Union leaders agreed to gather yesterday, the plan was ready. Their response to Trump's tariffs threat and outgrowth of his instance that the United States take over the territory of one of their members. But the day before they met, Trump backed down spectacularly. He swore off further tariffs and embraced terms for negotiations about Greenland. So he backed off. And who knows, the elite that run him could have told him, hey, you're doing too much. Back off. We who knows? But, this thing ain't gonna tarry. And I'm gonna get that too. But anyway, I don't want to jump ahead of myself. It says he swore off. Yeah, I read that. and it says about Greenland, the Arctic territory he covets. And let me get that. Salaki. Well, I paused the video because I was gonna get another article. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Hold on. All right, so this is the other article I want to get. But anyway, I'm gonna go back to that article I was at. And it said something about in the Arctic territory that he covets. And let me Salakia. Yeah, so back to this article right here. It says the Arctic territory he covets. So he covets something, right? He wants it, he desires it. So let me get that. I have a lot of Bibles. I haven't used this one in a while. The pages is a little stiff. And it's a smaller Bible. So this is Micah, if I can get to it. Yep, Micah 2. And I think it's 10. Yeah, no, hold on. No, not 10. Micah 2 and 2 and 1. It says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hands. So right now, they had the power to do these different things, start wars, take resources. That's the evil that they think upon. While they're in their bed, they think about it, they dream about it. How to overthrow this leader. They're NWO, the New World Order. Verse 2, and they covet fields and take them by violence. That's what they want to do, just like how they done the Israelites first. And like Apostle Tahar said that a lot of these Greenlanders, they're most likely, Israelites. And they stated that their president, I think that she's the president of their country, she got the spirit of God on her. And they said that they're going to go to war for their country. They don't want the ways of America to be pushed upon their people. It says, and they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. And so that's what this man want to do, but they back down. And also too, let's see. Give me 1 second. In the book of Joel. Give me 1 second. No, it's 3. I believe it's 3. Give me 1 second. Assemble yourself. But basically, this is a form of, the weak saying, I am strong. Like, hey, we're going to take on America. We can do this. We got support. This is our country. We don't want the ways of America being pushed here because it fails. It's a failed system. And this is also, too, the Jeremiah 50. Babylon being the hem of the earth. But this is other article I wanted to get. And this is another form of the heathen being strong. See, America is fighting or wanting to fight in an area that they have no expertise in. Their military is stretched thin across, you got different conflicts all around the world. And you're going to have your troops there. Well, guess what? America ain't never actually practiced warfare in the Arctic. These different states, that's what they do. That's their area that they, live in. During the wintertime, we going through this Arctic-like weather. They get this shit all the time. In negative degrees, ice, snow. Greenland, Iceland, or they're different, but they're very alike. Their environment. It says U.S. Army poorly prepared for Arctic operations. Finnish troops forced them to surrender during exercises in Norway. So the Finnish, they overtook them. They troops, American troops, a superpower. And this is what will happen across all battlefields. The men of these other nations, are stronger than Babylonians. And everyone has similar technology. We hear about Venezuela and the different technology that they have. Russia has the similar technology, and China is more advanced. And if they're allies, they're going to share that technology. So what's going to happen with America? Their technology, they're going to be overthrown. They're going to be destroyed. But ultimately, the Lord has it to where all these other nations, they're going to be put down anyway when he comes. So America's not going to win. And also, too, they have war games. Let me pull something. All right, so right here, it says this actually is true. All right, it says several 2026 war game scenarios, particularly those conducted by the Central for Strategic and International Studies in Defense One, indicated that the U.S. faces significant risk of failure in a conflict over Taiwan, China, due to high intensity, short duration attrition. These games predict rapid losses of ships and aircraft, strained logistics, and vulnerabilities in forward bases. It says key findings from 2026 war game simulations. It says rapid breaking point. The U.S. could hit a breaking point in 30 to 60 days with high intensity operations in the Indo-Pacific, leading to unsustainable losses in ships, aircraft, and munitions. And so with that, is naming material. You got to have the personnel in that material. So when you do the crew count and how many ships and stuff, aircraft have been used, okay, damn, this crew was 20 crew members, 500 or 1,000. U.S. troop numbers start going down. So what happens? Selective service comes into play, i.e. the draft, in an advanced form of the selective service, which they don't tell you about. You got the 18 to 27-year-olds being shipped off, 27 to 36 on up to 50, if you're capable. And you still have 50-year-olds in the military, but they're officers. A lot of them are officers, and they're capable. So it's going to be the same. You get a letter in the mail. Hey, that's it. So that's the times that we're coming into. And then it says vulnerability in Asia. U.S. forces, particularly in Japan and Guam, are highly vulnerable to Chinese missile forces. Now, if you have these different nations turning on America, how much more their so-called allies around them that turn against them? And this not even talking about Russia, because Russia's predicted to take down the beast, the the Medes that it speaks about in Isaiah, which those are Russians, Magog. And so yeah, you got these different type of war games. They lost this war game in 2023. Yeah, they lost this one. Let me see. Let me see. But yeah, anyway, I don't want to stay on that. But anyway, I probably just ended with this. Hold on. So yeah, these nations are beginning to hate the whore. And these nations ain't taking that shit no more. So yeah, the bully is being bullied. So Lord, this is an edifying lesson, giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakakwadash, Shalom.